Welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. Now, we are here to preview our huge crunch clash against Liverpool. They do not get much bigger than this. I am buzzing. Feeling good?
Feeling good, always.
Good. Do you know what, though? Before we get onto that, I need to talk to you about my FanDuel team. Nobody can beat me at FanDuel. I'm the master of this game. I'm so happy.
You are doing well at it, Raw. For those of you that aren't aware of FanDuel, we've been getting involved in this fantasy football thing called FanDuel. Basically, each week you can pick a fresh 11 and win money every single Premier League weekend.
And I'm the master of it. Look, my team is up now. Look how good this is.
So I see you've picked quite a few Chelsea players, Raw.
Do you know what, Jack? Of course I have. And I'm not even going to lie. Of course I've got a natural bias. But for this, I try and avoid that. I try and go with who I think is the best players, and I think I've done that here. I think I've gone with Oscar because I think his work rate. You know, I was at Swansea the other day. I was very disappointed with the result, but Oscar's work rate is so good, and that's how you accrue points in this game.
Yes,
you know, it's that sort of thing. Obviously, Kante has to be in there, just again for the same reasons. But what people don't seem to acknowledge with Kante is it's not only how good he is at winning the ball; his distribution is marvellous. And I've also taken a risk. You'll see.
David Luiz, well, one man's risk is another man's
gain.
Yes.
And this is gonna be my gain. I'm convinced that David Luiz is going to have a brilliant game. I think the script is written for him to get a goal, actually. I think he's such a good player.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to welcome him in. It's disappointing that Terry can't make it, but I think David Luiz is going to give us such a lift. And then I've gone for the obvious. I've gone for Diego Costa up front because the boy is on fire.
Yeah, and Costa keeps getting in the team of the week. So if you do decide to sign up to FanDuel, make sure you're picking Diego. Enter the £7,500 fan favourite contest. That's the one that Rory and I in the Chelsea Fans Channel will be submitting. And for only a £5 stake, you could win a share of a £7.5 pot. So there's real money to be earned. Not only that, when you sign up, if you use the promo code BLUES, FanDuel will match your first deposit up to £400 or refund your first entry up to £10 free credit if you don't win cash on
you can't lose
on your first bet.
So you can't lose. So if you put some money in and you don't win, they give you your money back anyway.
On your first bet, absolutely. So that's FanDuel. Let's talk about Liverpool.
Right, let's talk about Liverpool. They are obviously they're a good team. They're a very good team. They've got great management, but we can beat them.
We can beat them. I mean, they are coming in. We're both coming into this game in form. Liverpool, I think, are the second highest goal scorers so far this term behind Man City, but Chelsea have the most shots.
Right, okay, good.
So I can see goals.
Goals.
Do
you know who troubles me? I'm really worried about Sadio Mane. I think he's such a good player.
Did you see that goal he scored a few weeks ago?
Against Arsenal? Against Arsenal, first day of the season. Yeah, I watched it about 100 times. I was very pleased to see that one go in. Yeah, he's a very good player, isn't he? And we are going to have our work cut out looking after him.
Definitely. I mean, they're looking with their signings. You know, Mane, as you've mentioned, that Firmino, the Brazilian lad, is looking decent this year. Good. Scored a lovely goal the other day.
Yeah. Do you think Sturridge will play? Do you feel like Sturridge will get in their team for this fixture?
I think he will. I think he's been playing I think he's been picked the last couple of games for Liverpool. And you know, he's always going to have a point to prove against Chelsea.
He looked very good. You know, I watched their game the other day against Leicester.
Yeah.
And you know, Liverpool, the defence was shaky, and they did their best to throw it away at one point. But Liverpool were just too good. You know, Lallana scored a special goal.
Yeah.
And this is just going to be a cracker. Friday night at the Bridge, it will be rocking.
Friday night football at Stamford Bridge.
So I suppose it's just imperative. You know, we've spoken about Liverpool and how dangerous they can be. We have to pick the correct team, don't we?
We have to.
Right, we have given this a lot of thought. We really have put our heads together, and I think that we have come up with the perfect team. This team can demolish Liverpool. So, Thibaut Courtois has retained his place despite his shaky performance against Swansea. Do you think that's a correct decision?
I think it is. I think Thibaut is the best goalie we've got at our disposal at the moment. As we've mentioned, he's got a ricket in him. So a little bit more concentration against Liverpool because, you know, we don't want to get punished again.
Absolutely, but we have to play him. You're right, he is the best keeper at our disposal. The back line, this has been one that's been quite tricky for us to decide on because there's a lot of options here. One option was to put Ivanovic centre-half, move Azpilicueta to the right and play Alonso on his debut at left. We decided not to do that, which again I think is a correct decision, but it does involve throwing David Luiz in at the deep end. Do you feel like he's up to it?
He's definitely up for it. I love David Luiz, and I think it's the right decision, Raw. Let's not change the defence up too much. I think one change is enough. Obviously, John Terry's got the ankle knock. We think he's going to be out for about 10 days. So David Luiz pairing up with Gary Cahill. Gary Cahill's got another chance to rectify, his mishap over the weekend. And I think that's as solid a back line as we can pick.
Yeah, I think it's good. And also, you don't need to shake it up too much, do you? Like, we've got one player out. We have a player who can come in and deputise. We can keep the shape the same. David Luiz is up to this.
Yeah, definitely.
Which brings us on to the midfield. The midfield is now very, very interesting. And we've done something that is going to be a bit of a contentious issue, I think. We have dropped Nemanja Matic. Whether you think that's a right decision or wrong decision, I'm very interested to hear. So please comment below and let us know. But we don't think that his performances have been good enough. And we think that Cesc Fabregas is too good a player to be on our bench. He's the most creative player at the club. He cannot be sitting on the bench. We can't have our most creative player. We're not a good enough side to have our most creative player on the bench. Do you think this midfield, we've gone for an Oscar, Kante and Fabregas trio. If I'm going to be critical here, it's not big enough. Do you think it can live with the physical challenge that Liverpool will provide?
I think so, because I think we've got, in Oscar and Kante, we've got two dedicated tacklers.
Yeah, work rate.
Oscar, when I think of Oscar, I think of the finesse, I think of the guile, the style.
Absolutely.
But however, he can tackle like a steam train when he wants to.
Yeah, too right.
And Kante, as we know, he's a little animal buzzing around people's ankles, not giving him any space on the ball. So I think, yes, what we're going to lack in height will make up for in tenacity in that middle.
I agree. So the only thing left to discuss is a forward three. I think this one picks itself, doesn't it? Eden Hazard, he didn't have the best game against Swansea, but he's been on good form so far this season.
He's looked sharp.
He's looked really sharp.
Yeah.
Willian has been playing pretty well, scored a great goal against Burnley, obviously maintains his place in the team. Mm-hmm. And now we can just enjoy while we discuss
Diego.
The one and only Diego Costa. This guy is just incredible at the moment, isn't he?
I love him, Roy. I love him. He's slowly, in my heart, filling a Didier Drogba-shaped hole.
Really?
Yeah.
Huge.
We had Didier at the helm for all those years, and we all love him.
Do you know, he's just so good. He's raced. The 2 goals that he got against Swansea, that was his 35th, 36th Premier League goals. So he hit the 35 goal landmark in only 58 games. Oh, that's the 5th fastest that anyone has done it.
Yeah.
I think players like Ruud van Nistelrooy have done it slightly faster, but it's faster than Didier did it. And you've got to remember, Costa had a season off.
Well, this is it. I mean, the first half of last season, he was nowhere to be seen, was he? But his scoring record since Christmas has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, he is unplayable. And we are going to rely on him to have a big, big game. He's clashed with Jordan Henderson in the past.
Yeah.
Let's hope he can stay on the pitch, because his booking rate is ridiculous at the moment as well. Have you seen that?
Well, this is it. We're going to lose him through suspension a lot if we don't.
On the rate he's on, I think I was talking to Dan Levine. I went to Swindon the other night, and I was talking to Dan Levine down there. And he was telling me that if Costa continues at the rate that he's on, he's going to miss 18 games this season through suspension. So we really do need to watch that. But
the thing is, though, he's being targeted, isn't he?
He's
week in, week out, the opposition coaches are telling their players,
wind him up,
ruffle his feathers, get in his face, because he will react.
Yeah, I know.
How do we counterbalance that?
There is a way, and it's all down to him. He just has to do what he's good at, and that is scoring goals and letting his football do the talking. Because when you're pinging in bicycle kicks away from home, you don't need to have a fight with anyone. You don't need to have an argument. You've made your point.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So let's hope for more of the same on Friday night. I cannot wait for it. I'm so excited. Yeah. It's going to be rocking. You're going to be doing a live, are you?
Yeah. I'm going to be doing a live show. So make sure you tune into that, Chelsea fans.
Yeah, it's like a companion show. So you'll have the game on one screen, and then on your laptop you'll have Jack and Olivia talking you through it. Should be exciting.
So tune in.
Yeah, Mansour, what's the score going to be?
4-2 Chelsea.
There, we've had it. There, get your money on it. Mansour has said 4-2 to Chelsea. Mansour knows his stuff. Go on, you Blues. Welcome to the Chelsea Fans channel. Now, what a 24 hours I've had. Chelsea have re-signed David Luiz with genuine title contenders, and Olivia has finally come into the studio. Thank you so much for coming in.
That's okay.